Something is brewing in the locker room that could change everything this season. A battle for survival, bold trade rumors, and a behind-the-scenes shakeup that could shake up the entire roster. Decisions are being made now that could determine whether this team will remain on top or take a dangerous step backward. What's really going on? Stick with me, because after hearing these details, you'll never look at this roster the same way again. Be sure to hit that like button and let's go. This is getting wild. Chiefs Kingdom, Sky Moore's future in Kansas City might be hanging by a thread, and the whispers coming out of training camp aren't painting a great picture. Remember when Sky was supposed to be that second-round steal? The guy to inject life into this receiver core's desperate for answers. Well, it's been 3 years, and the flashes we hoped for just haven't shown up. He's battled injuries, inconsistency, and when he has been on the field, the production just hasn't been there. But here's the catch: there's still a slim window for him to claw his way onto this roster. Maybe it's an injury to someone like Tyquan Thornton or Nico Collins that cracks the door open. Or maybe Sky finally goes off and delivers the breakout camp he's needed for years. The odds? Slim. But in the NFL, slim isn't zero. And that's exactly the kind of thing that makes this storyline worth keeping an eye on. Chiefs fans love a redemption arc, but is this one too late to save now? This next one could be a complete game changer for Kansas City. Picture this: Jauan Jennings in red and gold. Yeah, the same Jennings who just dropped a career year with nearly 1,000 yards, 77 catches, and 6 touchdowns in San Francisco. He's made it clear to the Niners, extend me or trade me. And with San Francisco locked up in major money commitments to guys like Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, and Deebo Samuel, something's got to give. But here's the real question: does Jennings fit what Kansas City needs? He's good, but he's not elite. He's that guy who can get into the party, but not the VIP section. If you get my drift, would he help Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely. Would he completely change the offense? Probably not. But think about this: could Andy Reid take a guy like Jennings, a solid 2 or 3 option, and turn him into a major weapon in this system? We've seen him do it before now. Whether Brett Veach is willing to spend draft capital to make it happen is another story. Chiefs Kingdom, you're the GM. Do you make that move or pass? Speaking of big moves, the Chiefs just locked up one of their cornerstone players, and it's going to ripple through the entire roster. Trey Smith's new 4-year, $94 million extension isn't just about rewarding one of the league's best young guards. After a Pro Bowl season, it's also about money flexibility. Kansas City saved a massive $9.15 million in cap space by spreading out the deal, dropping his cap hit this year to just $14.5 million. And you know what that means. Brett Veach now has cash to play with. Free agency. It's very much back on the table. The Chiefs could look at names like Justin Simmons for the secondary, Amari Cooper for some receiver help, or even Dalton Risner to add more protection for Mahomes. We're talking about the chance to solidify an already championship caliber roster before the season even kicks off. But will they actually pull the trigger? Or will Veach play the long game and keep that money for in-season moves? That's where it gets interesting. And while we're on the topic of big names possibly on the move, let's talk Travis Etienne Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Imagine pairing Mahomes with a back who has had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons before last year's down campaign. Sure, Etienne's 2023 wasn't great, just under 600 rushing yards, a rough offensive line in Jacksonville, and a lot of frustration, but the talent is undeniable. The question here isn't fit, it's price. Would you trade a late-round pick, say a 6th or 7th, for a possible RB1 who could push Isaiah Pacheco and give this offense another dynamic weapon? It's tempting, but that's probably the only way Kansas City bites. Anything more expensive, and it's a hard no. But the idea of Mahomes having that kind of versatile weapon in the backfield, that's the kind of thing that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. And speaking of running backs, let's address the wild Madden-style predictions floating around out there. 1,100 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns for Brashard Smith. Come on, not happening. Not with Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Elijah Mitchell all in the mix. Smith's got talent and could eventually develop into something special. But those are video game numbers, not real-life projections. And here's a quick trivia for you: when was the last time Kansas City had a 1,000-yard rusher? It's been a while, and Pacheco hasn't cracked that mark yet either. This team just isn't built to feed one workhorse back that many touches. Not with Mahomes slinging it all over the field. But let's not forget what's looming large on the horizon Week 1 in Brazil against the Chargers. Kansas City loves these international games, and Clark Hunt has made it clear he wants this team to be the world's team. They've won 9 straight division titles, and as good as Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh's squad might be, the Chiefs are still the AFC's gold standard. Starting the season on that kind of global stage, expect Mahomes and company to come out swinging. So, Chiefs Kingdom, here's the question for you: should Kansas City get aggressive and pull the trigger on a move for Jauan Jennings or Travis Etienne? Or should they ride with the roster as is and keep that cap flexibility for later? Drop your takes in the comments right now, and if we're talking about defining moments, let's not ignore the elephant in the room: Travis Kelce's future. Chiefs fans don't want to think about life after Kelce, but it's a reality that's creeping closer every year. The question came up: who steps into that TE1 role when Kelce finally hangs up the cleats? Noah Gray has been a solid no, too, one of the best backup tight ends in the league. But let's be honest, he's not Travis Kelce, and he's likely not even a true long-term TE1. Jared Wiley, on the other hand, has a ceiling that intrigues the coaching staff. He's got the size, athleticism, and upside to potentially develop into a starting caliber tight end down the line. But let's be clear, whoever takes over that role will have enormous shoes to fill, and it's far more likely the Chiefs eventually bring in another veteran or even draft a top prospect. When that day comes, Chiefs Kingdom might need to brace itself for that reality sooner than later, but for now, Kelce remains the heartbeat of this offense. And while we're talking about the future, let's circle back to that Week 1 clash in Brazil, because it might be the first statement game of the season. The Chargers have talent. Justin Herbert is one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, and Jim Harbaugh's arrival has given them a tougher, more disciplined edge. But Kansas City owns this division. 9 straight AFC West titles don't happen by accident, and until proven otherwise, the road to the top still runs through Arrowhead, or in this case, Rio de Janeiro. The Chiefs thrive under the spotlight, and Patrick Mahomes loves nothing more than proving he's still the best on the biggest stages. Expect Kansas City to show up aggressive, creative, and ready to silence any offseason doubts about whether this roster has enough firepower to repeat as champions. And let's not forget what Brett Veach has quietly built this offseason. That Trey Smith extension wasn't just about locking up a core player, it was about creating flexibility. That extra $9 million in cap space could be the secret weapon down the stretch. Whether it's adding a veteran receiver, shoring up the secondary with someone like Justin Simmons, or even a late-season trade for a running back, Veach now has options. And history tells us he's not afraid to strike when the opportunity is right. Remember when everyone doubted if Kansas City had enough weapons after Tyreek Hill left? All they did was win another Super Bowl. This front office has earned our trust. So here's where we leave it. Chiefs Kingdom, Sky Moore's career in KC is hanging by a thread. Jauan Jennings and Travis Etienne are intriguing possibilities. If the price is right, Trey Smith's deal has opened up future moves. And the countdown to Brazil is on. This team is still built to win now, and the rest of the AFC knows it. But what do you think? Should the Chiefs push all in for one more weapon before the season starts? Or should they roll with what they've got and keep that cap flexibility for mid-season? Drop your opinions in the comments. I want to know exactly where you stand on this. And don't just comment, this debate is what fuels Chiefs Kingdom. And I'll be reading through your takes for the next show. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Chiefs!